Welcome. In this tutorial, we are going to look on materials and surfaces in Revit. We are going to look on how to apply materials on the built-in families, loadable families, and some in-place models. Then we will also see on how to apply different colors and surfaces on different parts of our model. Okay, to start, let's see how to access the material palette in Revit. I'm going to go to Manage and then go to Material here. Now you have this palette here with the material browser here. The material browser has two parts. It has this project material, but when you, for instance, type in the material wood, for instance, here, you will automatically see that this part has also the AEC materials. So the project materials are those materials that are active in the current project. This AEC material is, on the other hand, a collection of all the materials which are not necessarily loaded into the project. You can either choose to load in the material in by going to the material and choose to load in the project. For instance, let me look for the kind of material that I want, and then I will load it into the project here. Let me go to maybe walnut, maybe the teak, this one. I hover over it and I'm going to go to add the material to document. You automatically see that this material has loaded in the project material and is ready to be used. Now we have this part here which displays all the information about the material. We have the identity. The identity normally has the name of the material, the description of the material. Now we go to graphics. The graphics is more of colors and textures, but the appearance normally has the textures and how it appears in the 3D model. We will also have the physical properties and thermal properties, which are not really necessary to look at this point. Okay, let's now see how to apply the materials on different family types in Revit. We are going to start with the built-in family and or the system family, and the way to apply that particular material is to select that material, and then you can go to edit or edit type, and after that you can see the structure. It will depend on the type of material that on the type of family that you are using, but most of the time you will go to the structure and edit the structure, and here you will be able to access the material type. Here you click on that and you will see these three dots. You go to these three dots and you will automatically open the material browser like we did on the first instant. Now you have all the materials, and they are mainly the project materials. Now I'm going to look for something like maybe brick and see what displays in here. You can see that we have only three types of brick material, but down here we have a lot of types of brick material. Now what we are going to do, we are going to choose one. For instance, I'm going to choose the brick modular, and I'm going to apply this one. Select that one, I will apply, and maybe I will go to the appearance and see how it looks in 3D. This is how it will look. And now if I'm satisfied, I will now go to OK, and OK again, and I will apply the material here, and we shall see the changes in real life here. We can now hit OK if we are satisfied with our material. Now let's go to the loadable families. I'm going to select this table here, then I will go to edit type, and here you will find the materials and finishes depending on the different parts of the model. You can see that for this particular table we have the base material and we also have the top material. I'm going to go on and change the top, and I'm going to maybe choose something like let me will look for another type of food. I can always type in the material that I want to select from, and maybe I can go to cherry, this one, choose this one, and I'm going to hit OK, and I will apply. Then I will hit OK to finish this one, and when I look at that, you can see that the material has already changed. Now let's go to the built-in families. I'm going to select this one. This is a built-in model, and I will not be able to change the material by going to the edit family, but what I will do, I will select this one here and go to edit in place, and I will select this one again and go to materials here. Then I will be able to click on these three dots, and then I will change the material. I'm going to type in wood again, or maybe something white. Let me go to gypsum and choose the gypsum wallboard, for instance, although it's not the best choice. And you can see how this model looks like. Now when I'm satisfied with the changes, I will go on and finish the model. Now let's see how to create a new material surface. I'm going to go to manage and go to materials again. They will ask me to save this project, but I will not really save it. And on this dialog here, we can create our own material by going to this icon here, go to the drop down menu and create a new material. Now you can see this material, and when it's highlighted here, I'm going to go to the identity and I will call it, maybe I will create a blue surface. Call it blue. Maybe call it blue surface. And hit OK, and I'll go to graphics, and then I will change the color to something blue, like maybe this one, and hit OK. We can again go on and create a new type. For instance, I'll go to the drop down menu again, go to this, go to the identity, and I will call it maybe the green surface, and go to the graphics, and I will change this material from the dark to green. Hit OK, and now hit OK to finish. Now let's look on how to paint materials. When you go to the modify panel, and you will see here on the geometry, you can have this icon here called paint, or you can type in PT as a shortcut. Click on that, and you will automatically see the material browser here. You can choose a material in here to apply to the surface. Now I'm going to choose maybe the blue material that we created. Let me type in blue, and you can see this is the blue surface, which is not displayed as blue right now. And I'm going to click this one, and when I hover over a material, I will then be able to apply that blue paint on this particular material. Let me see what is happening. Yes, we can now see when we switch from realistic to consistent colors, we can now see that we managed to paint this wall into blue paint. You can go ahead and do it to all other materials. For instance, I can go to, maybe let me look for wood, and maybe choose something like this, the walnut, or this one, the wood plank. And then I will go to this particular surface here. When I hover over it, you can see the blue highlights, and in this case I can apply this material on this particular surface here. Let me click, and you will see that I am able to change that material, but because we are not on the realistic, we cannot see that. I'm going to go to realistic again, and you can see that I have already applied this particular material. Now let's see how to split surfaces. When I go to paint again and choose maybe the green surface that we created before, and go over, let me switch to consistent colors and go over this wall here, you can see that I managed to paint this wall into green, but you can see that it is applied to the entire wall. Sometimes you want to have it on one part of the wall, for instance in here, and the other will remain untouched. Now how we do that? We do this by splitting the surfaces. Now let's go to above the painting surface. I have the split surface option. Let me click on that, and I will go on and select the surface that I want to split. Then I will maybe use the line method, and I will go on and pick this line here, and again on this line at this particular intersection here, click, and now I will be able to split that surface here. Now this surface is quite different from this one. Now when I go back to paint and maybe choose the blue paint that we created earlier, I can now go on this particular surface here and paint it differently from the other one. Notice that the split surface tool is only splitting the surface, but the wall remains intact and has not really changed. You can use this technique to apply surfaces in both 3D or in 2D. Let me go, for instance, on the ground floor to show you how this is done. For instance, if I want to maybe split this surface, I will go to split, and then I will select this surface here, and I will take a line from this point to this point here, and I will hit finish. Now I can be able to go to paint and choose the type of material. For instance, if I want the corridor to be like maybe ceramic, I choose ceramic because it's the one which is visible on the floor plan. And if I click on this, you can see that now I managed to separate these two surfaces, and now I can paint this one, and this one is not going to change.